Good morning, guys. Welcome to my class. My name is Felix, and I'm from Quality Ed. I'll be your lecturer for this unit. BSV WHS 211, contribute to the health and the safety of self and others. Okay, so today, this morning will be session 1. All right. So I know you from JobWorks. So could you please introduce yourself to me so that I can know something about you?
Okay.
All right.
I'm
Sure.
Sharon.
Yeah. Welcome.
I worked before
Yes.
as a teacher,
Yeah.
but because I got younger children, I
Yeah.
had to give it up, so I stopped working for 2 years already.
Yeah.
Yeah, this class is very important for me.
Welcome. Okay.
I'm Tian.
Yeah.
Something about me is that I've traveled to 29 countries.
Oh wow. Beautiful.
I'm going to be making that more in the next month.
Yeah.
To 2 more countries.
Yeah.
This month.
Yes. Very good.
Thank you.
Very good.
Frederick, and being back
Welcome.
into the workplace after a car accident.
Yes. Very good.
I'm Odette and I love watching ballet.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Thank you very much. All right. So yes, some more information about myself. This will be my email. Okay. If you wanna have any questions, please don't hesitate to send me an email. I'm more than happy to help you. All right. Yeah. Okay. Now today's content. We'll go through 4 parts for today. Safety matters, number 2, some legislation, the duty of care, number 3, number 4, hazards and risks. So today we're going through some terminologies, definitions, legislation, and some explanations. Okay, so that we can have an overall understanding of work health and safety. All right. So before we start our class, I would like to emphasize on the housekeeping things. All right. Number 1, if you want to go to the toilet, go out of the room, turn left, and then turn left. Follow the corridor, you'll find the toilet. And for cafe, you can turn right, follow the path. You can go to the cafe and the canteen, okay, for some coffee or anything for some break. Yes, and evacuations. If there were an emergency, we have 2 master points. Okay, out of the room, follow the corridor to that way. If you go, you can turn right and walk to the big lawn over there. That's the master point number 1. Or you can turn left and turn right to the lawn in front of the building. That's point number 2. Okay, yeah. And I would like to emphasize on mobile phones. Sorry, please put your mobile phones on silent mode. Okay, if you wanna, if you have to answer your phone, let me know. You can go out of the room, answer it. All right? Yeah. Very good. Thank you. Now, first part, safety. Safety matters. So another sentence, why is safety so important? Okay. Actually, as we can say, we may say some news on the on TV, radios, internet, anywhere. Okay, everywhere we may say some. Oh, there's an incident, accident, shocking, confusing, right, in the workplace. So this is a very important problem before we start working. Okay, before we start working, in our workplace. We need to know some workplace safety problems or some policies. Okay, some practices. Yeah. Numbers talk. Now let's go through some statistics in Australia. Okay, so we need to pay attention to this agent called Safe Work Australia, because this agency collects and publishes data on the death, injuries, and illness at work, in the workplace, and nationwide Australia. Okay, and it compiles national statistics on work-related injuries, fatalities. Okay, so from this industry we can check some data, okay, about fatalities, incidents, accidents happen in Australia. For example, I've got some statistics in Australia, a bit old, 2020, but can give you some ideas about the fatalities in workplace. For example, maybe I'm thinking it might be there's more population, more possible. Okay, there might be some work-related accidents. And unfortunately, in WA, it's number 2. Okay, 2.1 per 100,000 workers. There might be some fatalities. And in 2020, actually it was in 2029. This was released in 2020. So in 2029, there were 29 fatalities in WA. Okay, in Australia, total 194. Okay, and this is work-related injury fatalities by industry. As we can say, machinery operators, drivers is the highest, like the road train drivers, or maybe some mining, okay, and laborers and managers. Okay, a good thing for you. You're so lucky because most of you will go to call centers, okay? We will be working in call center or admin settings. Yeah, that's the lowest. Okay, how lucky you are, right? Yeah, very good. But we still pay attention to this, all right? Workplace safety. And some serious claims, statistics, data. Okay, so 6.1 serious claims per million hours worked. 6.6 weeks per serious claim. Okay, that is compensation paid. If you're an employer, okay, you need to pay attention to this. And what caused the injury? The most, as we can say, more than 1/3, 37% comes from the body stressing. Maybe from the awkward lifting too much, bending too much. Okay, so that's quite economic injuries. And 23 from falls, trips, and slips. Okay, from this you can say that's the percentage of the injuries in that year. All right. Okay. Second part, we're going to go through some work health safety legislation, so we can know some evolution or development of the legislation. All right. Fred, could you please read for us?
So national harmonisation in 2012 across Australia, it was a move to standardise safety laws. This led to the development of the Model Work Health and Safety Act. So that's for the national one.
Yes.
While safety is a state responsibility, it was seen as important to have a national approach. And most states and territories have adopted the standardised laws, just renamed them for the location, but not all. Victoria is the only state that has not yet adopted the standardised laws.
Yes, very good. Thank you very much. And we are lucky that WA changed in just 3 years ago. Okay, just updated the legislation in work health and safety. Yeah, and some safety regulators in different states. So in WA we have WorkSafe WA. That's the regulator for work health safety. Okay, and the law we follow is Work Health Safety Act 2020. All right. Yeah. And some other definitions, except the WorkSafe, we have another one called Work Cover. Okay, which means you get covered by this agency. Work Cover WA is the government agency responsible for managing workers' compensation injury management in WA. If you get injured, and that's redeemed as your employer's fault, you might be able to raise your claim and get compensation. And work cover WA is responsible for those things. All right? Yeah. Okay. Now, legislation and workplace codes of practice, or how it works. Okay. For example, number one, first step. Legislation sets a minimum standard for workplaces to follow, and then workplaces interpret them, explain them, okay, into organizational policy and procedures. So in the later slides, we'll be using this one because the policy and procedures will say P&P, okay? And so when the legislation changes, organization needs to ensure that P&P is updated so that it's not with updated law. All right, this is the code of practice. Okay, which means everybody needs to be responsible for their safety, which is called duty of care. Now, part 3, duty of care. Duty of care applies to Tian. Could you please read this for me?
The duty of care is a responsibility that people have under the Act. It applies to PCBU, person conducting business or undertaking employees, self-employed persons, those who control workplaces, manufacturers and suppliers, designers, constructors of buildings as workplaces.
Yeah, very good. Thank you very much. So, here, I want you to pay attention to these two words. One is responsibility. Okay, so duty is a responsibility. You need to be responsible. Somebody is responsible for the work health safety. And PCBU, this abbreviation means person conducting business or undertaking business. Actually, is your employers. Okay, yeah, those organizations who hire. It's called PCBU, employees. Anyway, actually, so these has covered almost all the people, okay, in the workplace. Now, I've got a question for you guys. I'm a volunteer. I work in this. I work for this school, maybe one day a week. I help the teachers, I help the admin, help the students. I'm a volunteer. I don't get paid. So, do I have any duty of care? Yeah, fair.
Yes, you do, because you're on that work site, they have policies and procedures and you have responsibilities.
Yeah.
The same as when you get an electrician into your house.
Yes.
You
Very
both have responsibilities.
Perfect. So, the volunteers are also covered under this. Okay, as long as you're here in the workplace, you have duty of care. You should be responsible for you, for yourself, and the people around you. All right? Yeah. As we can see, the definition of worker now includes volunteers. That's the updated laws. All right? So the new workplace WHS Act 2020 gives us some definitions of different people. For example, it mentioned the PCBU. Okay, they have the primary duty of care to ensure safety of their workers. Okay, so that is some definitions, some explanations of the Act 2020. Yeah, please remember here, volunteer. Responsibilities of the PCBU, primary body of the workplace safety. Okay, so these are the responsibilities of them. Okay, Sharon, could you please read for us? Thank you.
The responsibilities of the PCBU provide safe system of work, provide information, instruction, training, and supervision, consult and cooperate with the workforce, provide arrangements for safe use, handling, transportation, and disposal of plants and substances, provide personal protective equipment, and identify, assess, and control hazards.
Very good. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to ask you to pay more attention on this one. Provide information, instruction, training, and supervision. Okay, just imagine if you go to your employer in the workplace, what's the first thing you should do? Any ideas? Education and
Get a raise.
orientation, right? Orientation. So yeah, your supervisor may take you around the workplace with one piece of paper, right? Okay, now this is the toilet. This is the exit. This is emergency. This is this is that. Okay. At last, you have to tick them off and sign it off. Okay. Now, Fred, you are okay to work in here. Okay. This is orientation. Yeah. If you work in on a farm, on a mine, yeah, maybe you have to pre-start check. That's kind of a work safety, yeah, procedure. All right.
I think some people call it an induction.
Yeah, induction. Very good. Induction. Yes. Yeah. So that usually happens before you work for your employer. Induction. Very good. And as worker, you have your responsibilities. Workers shall take reasonable care to ensure their own safety and the safety of others. You cover each other. All right. You pay attention to the safety, not only for yourself, but also for the people around you. Okay, if you work in the hospital, the nurse and the patient, okay, even the visitors. Okay, all right. So this is how the workers can meet their duty of care. Yeah, for example, using PPE as designed, or as required by the employer. Okay, you work in the ward, you have to wear masks. Okay, if you work with the COVID-19 patients, full PPE, right? So you have to do that. That's your responsibility. Yeah, and you have to report hazards and injuries. We'll talk about that later. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. Both sides do not only have obligations or responsibilities, they also have their own rights. Okay? So, from your employer, they have the right to set the work or job roles. Okay? Yeah, they can say, who will do this? What's the role for this job? Okay? And they have the right to hire and fire, of course. Yeah, that's reasonable. All right? As workers, your right, you have the right to work in a safe workplace. Okay? And you have the right to refuse unsafe work. Yeah, I think, yeah, this is yeah, pretty perfect in Australia, because as well, we know that in some other countries, yeah, there might be some risks or incidents or accidents, from the unsafe workplace or environment. So in here in Australia, we have very good legislation. Okay. Now, as you're going to work in a call center, could you please think and discuss what is the duty of care in an administrative or office setting or call center settings? Just think about it and share with us. Duty of care as a worker. Yes, Sharon?
Because I worked before, I think in my previous job, we got a checklist before we start
Yes.
our work.
Yeah.
And to make sure everything is clean and set up things for today's
Yeah.
working tasks.
Yeah.
So my duty of care follow this, also make sure it's safe for everyone.
Excellent. Thank you, Sharon. Anybody else?
Nothing from a practice point of view,
Yes.
making sure that you leave everything neat and tidy and, you know, hygienic point of view and, you know, the seats sit up straight
Yes.
and,
Yes.
yeah.
Thank you very much. Very good. Very good.
I think you have a duty of care of yourself as well, like you want to make sure that your chair is upright and you want to make
Yeah.
sure that your screen is in a good position for yourself.
Look after yourself,
You
right?
look after yourself,
Yeah.
because no one else is going to say to you, oh, you should put your chair up a little bit more, or you
Yeah.
should tilt your chair back a little bit more.
Yeah,
So
very
you
good.
do care of yourself.
Very good. Good. Thank you very much. Very good, yeah. Okay, so the duty of care in administrative or office setting refers to the legal and moral obligations held by a PCBU and every worker to take responsible steps to ensure the health and safety of themselves and others, okay, in the workplace. So this is a very good explanation of duty of care in administrative or office setting. Okay, yeah. After this class, I'll share this this PPT in our system so that you can download. Okay, I strongly suggest you go through it. Okay. Yes, there are some more explanations of the employer's duty of care. Yeah. So remember, our assessment will come from this. Okay? Please read through them, and then, yeah, the more possible you pass your assessment. Okay? And workers' responsibility, you can find all this information in this unit, in this PPT. Okay, now, next part. Identify and implement WHS policy and procedure. Now it comes to P and P, okay? As workers, we have a responsibility to identify WHS P and P relevant to our work area. Yeah, and yeah, as workers, we have a responsibility to implement them, okay? So, P and P are what? Policy and procedures. Yeah, very good. So, some definitions of policy and procedures. Here, policy is the rules and procedures, the steps to follow. Okay, Fred, could you please read that for us?
So policy are the rules. The policy is a clear, simple statement that provides a set of guiding principles to help with decision making. Policy should not be long or complicated. It is possible that only a few sentences can express the policy intent. Statements are similar for all healthcare organizations.
Very good. And procedures?
Yeah, procedures, the steps to follow. The procedure describes how a policy will be put into action in your organization. In essence, the instructions on how to implement policy. This can vary between organizations.
Very good. Thank you very much. So, very precise explanation of policy and procedures. I hope you understand this. And yeah, some WHS policy and procedures. For example, there are some policies, as you can see. WHS policies, for example, drug and alcohol policy, induction training program policy, budget policy, yeah. And the procedures, the steps to put the policies into action. So, workplace inspection procedure, emergency procedure manual and plans, okay? So, the forms and records you can use, incident report forms, we will talk about it later, hazard report forms, team safety meeting manual and notes for workplace inspections, inspection forms, okay? Yeah, there are so many forms, a few if needed, okay? Yeah, more explanation. Yeah, I'll leave this to you after class. So please download them, download slides, and go through, okay? Now, part 4, hazards and risks. First question, what is a risk, hazard? What is hazard? A hazard can be anything in the workplace that has the potential to harm people, like this chair. This chair can be a hazard if you're in the wrong place. Okay, some plugs. Okay, if there's some cords on the floor, it can be hazard. Okay, so and this includes the way work is done. If you didn't follow the procedures of the right one, there might be a hazard. Yeah. So in one word, a hazard is the potential for harm. Okay. Yeah. Even the roof can be hazard if some days falls down. If it's not well maintained, right? Yeah. And types of hazards in workplace. Yeah, mainly there are 5 types of hazards in workplace. Physical, there's some cuts, bruise, yeah, falls, trips. Economic, you might be sitting here for 3 hours without break, causing muscle problems. That's the economic hazard, okay? Psychosocial hazard, what's this? Psychosocial, emotional. If you work in a call center, yeah, some people may give some abuse, verbal abuse of the phone, right? You feel very upset. This kind of hazard. Chemical hazard? Yes, yes, very good. And biological? Infections. Yeah, if hygiene is not done properly, right? There might be, yeah, especially if the ventilation is not very good in the room. Okay, yeah. Alright, let's go on. Yeah, some common workplace hazards and explanations of that. Yeah, like manual handling, wrong manual handling. If you push too hard, okay, your back may be injured. Okay, I mean, so that's called economic hazard. Yeah, if you trips over a cord on the floor, that can be called physical hazard. Okay, and aggression here, and verbal and physical abuse can be, yeah, is called psychosocial hazard. Okay, yeah, additional hazard in health, for example, exposed to biological hazard. Yeah. Okay, and characteristics of hazardous manual tasks. For call center people, worker, sustained postures. Okay, long periods of either sitting or standing. Okay, yeah, this is why in some offices, yeah, people can now have some automatic adjustable table. Okay, they can lift up and they can stand up. Okay, so yeah, they can have some breaks for their back. Okay, and then they can sit down after 30 minutes. So very useful. Now, some examples of hazards in office or call centers. Yeah, slip balls, electrical. Yeah, you need to go through by yourself after class. Okay, very good. A risk. Risk in relation to any injury or harm. A risk means the probability or the likelihood of that injury or harm occurring. Yeah, it arises when it's possible that a hazard can cause harm. Okay, some examples like the chair in the wrong place, caught on the floor. Even these steps can be risks for people because you can say there are some people may have tripped on over the edge. Yeah. So this is a comparison between hazard and risks. A hazard is something that has the potential to harm you, while the risk is the likelihood. Okay? Yeah. Now, what are the examples of risk in an administrative or office settings? Yeah, you can think about them later. Yeah. Go through this by yourself. Okay? Yeah, this will appear in our assessment. All right? Yeah. Okay, now activity hazard identification. For example, look at this picture. Can anybody tell me? Look at it. Tell me how, there are 11 hazards, okay, in this room. Could you please tell me what are they?
The wet floor,
Which one?
the wet floor,
Wet floor. Yeah, so this should be clean way, right? Yeah, very good. And some files on the floor. Very good. Yeah, that's one of those. Which one?
The person who
This one?
carried 2 balls, yeah.
Yeah, carrying overload. Okay, it's overloaded. Too many. Anything else? And including Bella, maybe. Yeah. Anything else?
And pushing the file onto the lady on the other side.
Which one?
Yeah,
Little.
the pink shirt.
This one?
Yeah.
Yes. This is yeah, physical hazard.
Just below that, you have that drawer sticking out for people to walk into.
You mean the
No, to the left of that.
course?
No, not the cord, just on
the
that,
drawer
the drawer sticking out.
next to the guy.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
The exit
Oh,
signs
this is
blocked.
the top. Anything else?
Exit signs blocked.
Hey?
The exit is blocked if anyone needs to get out.
Here.
from a fire.
It's blocked.
Blocked.
Very good. This is one hazard. Anything else?
And the cleaning equipment.
It's in the way, right? Yeah, can be. Anything else?
Lots of cables.
Lots of cables on the floor? Of course.
On the right hand side, person in green sitting sideways looking at their screen.
Hey, which one?
Right hand side, last person there, sitting sideways looking at their screen.
In the green.
The green,
This one?
yep.
Ergonomic. Because he or she has to look this way. Okay? This is not right. Okay? Look to your left. No, you can't do that for 5 minutes. No. It is a hazard. Of course. And else?
The photocopier sitting on the floor between boxes and things.
Yeah, very good. How about this one? This guy.
Tilting back in his chair.
Tilting back is rocking on his chair, right? Better not do that, okay? How about this one? Yes, frame is on the floor. It's not safe. It should be on the table. Yeah, on a flat surface. Very good. So yeah. Oh yes. Cord on the floor and yeah, a box or a drawer out of the way.
I don't seem to think that's a hazard,
Hey, which one?
the drawer sticking out.
Yeah, it should be a hazard. Yeah, and here, sitting at desk, repeated movements, okay. Yeah, yes, to do that, yeah, repeat. Very good, yeah, very good, thank you very much. So, today, what we have learned, 4 parts, safety matters, legislation, definition of duty of care, and hazards and risks, all right? So, your homework for today, please download everything and go through for a good review of what you've learned today. And watch videos online about duty of care if you still need to understand better, okay? And number 3, find more examples of hazards and risks in admin or office settings. Okay, so this is the homework for you today, all right? That's the end of the class. And I'll send you the feedback form so that you can fill out for me. All right? Okay. Thank you very much.
What's our next session?
Sorry.
What's our next session?
Next session we're going to talk about how to identify. How to identify hazards and risks in the workplace in detail. Okay, it will be interesting. So I welcome all of you to come back and do the activities. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.